Yeah, at one point didn't look like I was going to be a footballer at all. I had to go to college, study sports science, and kind of thought that was it for me. And then we got a lucky break. The coach we had at the college football team, and he also managed the Nottinghamshire district team. Got a job up at Bradford. Took a couple of us on trial up there, and then rolled on 6 months, and I'd signed there and was in and around the first team. And Bradford were in administration at the time, and a lot of the older players had to drop wages and they weren't happy about it, and some of them refused to play, faked injuries, and they ended up throwing in a lot of the young lads, and I was one of them. That was how I got my break. Really, there was no pressure on me. I was thrusted into the first team at 17, and probably everybody else doubted me, and at times I doubted myself. So I didn't really feel too much pressure. I hadn't come through a famous academy, hadn't been lined up as the next big thing. So I was just enjoying my football for a few years. Really, it didn't happen until I ended up signing for Sheffield United and felt a little bit more pressure, a bit more weight on my shoulders. That my form started to dip. Off the field, probably wasn't living as best as I could do. Try and relay that to a lot of the younger players now that I play with. But yeah, that was the first time really that I had a dip in form, and there was lots of reasons behind that. Struggled off the pitch, living alone, wasn't training my best, and at the end of the day, that was affecting my performances. So yeah, I've certainly come a long way and enjoying it now. To be honest, there hasn't been many lows since I've signed here. It's been a real elevation of highs from the club's perspective, but personally for me as well, to be involved in that. The club's been fantastic, and it's been a real rapid rise over the years.
I, along with Simon, probably took a little bit of a more unconventional route into football or to where we are today. So, like you said, I was at an academy. I was at Southampton until I was 15, and then got released. And you just kind of get thrust into a world of having to make your own way. So, from going to trials and kind of being rejected to hoping you're going to get a break to then similar again. I didn't go and do the under 18s kind of YTS program. I went to sixth form, so it was then just kind of a waiting game. I can't say that I gave up the dream of playing football, but it certainly looked like a distant profession probably. I went and done other things and worked in other places. Then to get back into the football industry through a lucky break, really, of being in the right place at the right time. I was playing with Ipswich under 18 manager in like a charity game, and I also played with his son at Chippenham Town. So he recommended me to Mick McCarthy. I went up there, had a trial, and they signed me the same day. So it was a strange time. Obviously, an extreme high. To go back into work the following day and say I'm quitting to go and play professional football was obviously a lovely moment. But ever since then, I think when you get into the game, or when you're in any profession, you understand that there will be lows with the highs. So I had a couple of injuries since I've been here, a couple of serious ones, and again through the help of everybody that's available to you these days, from sports psychologists to the rehab to the funding that the clubs can obviously afford to give you these days to go and get the best treatment. We're obviously in a fortunate position to be able to utilize that, but mentally it's obviously a difficult time to be on the sideline, and it being so quickly after I signed for Bournemouth. Obviously, I wanted to show everyone what I could do, so it was a disappointing time. But like I say, it's there have been highs, there have been lows, but you learn in football also that it goes very quickly. So just have to enjoy every moment, I guess.
I heard Callum talk last week after his England call up, how he stays grounded with it all, and I think having us around him certainly helps. He'll come back from England, we'll give him a bit of stick, and he'll certainly be brought straight back down to earth. But he did mention that he doesn't get too high with the highs, sorry, and let himself get too low when he has a bad game, or like when he's been injured. And I'm sure it's the same with Tyrone as well. I just think you have to find that level playing field and try and keep getting through those kind of moments, but knowing that the highs are going to come really. And I'm sure Tyrone had plenty of those lows when he was injured, but he's come back stronger and certainly as fit as ever. And Callum certainly did that with his injury as well. So that's what I would certainly advise.
Yeah, I think that's probably what you learn the most through a long term injury. Obviously, you have a lot of time to reflect on yourself and what makes you happy and what gets you out of bed in the mornings, and because when football's taken away, you kind of do a bit of soul searching. So to not get too down at those moments is the most important thing. Otherwise, you find yourself going into a dark place. And then coming back, and obviously Callum, what he's gone on to do, I'm sure, still remembers the times when he couldn't do what he wanted to do, and for him to forget all about that and just ride out the highs that are going to come. Obviously, he got called up for England. It's about as the epitome of any career. So for him, he should just be loving it. But I think it shows a testament to his mentality, probably, that he doesn't get too carried away with it. And it's not to say that he doesn't enjoy it, because you have to live in the moment and you have to enjoy things. But to know that for his long-term mental health, I guess, him and any professional footballer, there are going to be times when you're going to feel on top of the world, even if you're scoring or after a game when you've won, or scoring a last-minute goal, and the whole elation that comes with it is so short-lived, and the lows are also short-lived. So it's just about, I guess, seeing a bigger picture and knowing what you want and just trying to get there.
We're such a unique football club in that it's such a small club. I mean, the stadium speaks for itself, with 11,500 fans at the home games for Premier League games, and it's certainly the smallest in the Premier League, but that doesn't stop us. It hasn't stopped us, and I'm sure it won't in the future. And it's great because the town feels like it's involved in the football club at all times, and we certainly have that feel within the community, and the backing that we've got from everyone in the town. It's been great, really, over the last few years. And I'm not massively on Twitter, but you are, so I'm sure you get a lot of positive comments all the time, and the lads do, about how well we're doing, how proud they are, and it's great to hear that, because everyone's pleased. We haven't got those massive expectations that the big clubs do, but we quietly go about our business, and certainly everyone in and around the town supports that.